Alright, hey, welcome. What's going on? It is a crisp evening here. I'm about to go over some stuff. It's gonna be a smooth ride, I think. Um, this will be rundown of core functionality in Obsidian. But I'm gonna let you know what it has built into the package, right? I mentioned in the bookmarks when that came out. And I felt this when Canvas was introduced earlier in the year, that it was really becoming uh, uh, like a full package right out of the box. I didn't think you needed to dive too deeply into the community plugins to get a lot of uh, good functionality out of Obsidian. And then Bookmarks really kind of like solidified that idea. I think there's so much cool stuff you can do just without diving into CSS snippets, community plugins, community themes even. It's all right here. So thank you for coming to my TEDx Glendale, California TED Talk. We're gonna have a good time here. We're gonna have a good time here. Okay, I'm gonna get through all of it as quickly as I can. I got stuff to do. None of it's important, but I still got to do it. I'm sure you have stuff to do. Some of it's probably important. What is Obsidian? Obsidian is great for some things, and it's great for some people. But just like everything else in life, and the universe, and all that, it's not for everyone, and it's not for some things. Uh, that answer, where your use case will fall in, is going to be entirely personal to you. Maybe I can do something to give you a little push in some direction that'll be useful to you. Um, Basically, Obsidian is a software that looks at a folder on your computer and presents the files and folders in that folder to you in a neat, fun, cool, interactive way. You've got two panels, one on the right, one on the left. You can customize those. You can have multiple notes open. You can have notes on top of each other, to the right, to the left of each other. You can have notes popped out into new windows, which was very exciting when they allowed for us to do that. We all collectively lost our minds and we could have multiple windows open. What not is Obsidian? Um, while magic does indeed exist within this world, sorcerers, wizards, many other types of people can, you know, touch into that spiritual realm and really dig into there. Obsidian is just like, it's just a program. And you're a grown adult, I assume. I'm a grown adult, I think. Uh, and so I'm not trying to like talk down to anyone, but some of the way that I see certain things, not like Obsidian stuff, but like like Instagram ads for like this deck of cards. It's gonna be what you use every morning to get you to clean your room and whatever, and like special note planners that like gamify stuff. Maybe that'll work for you, maybe it won't. But oftentimes, if you identify bad behaviors or bad habits that you do, it's gonna take more than just a tool to get you to overcome those. There's going to be some amount of work involved. And again, different amounts of work, different steps people are going to have to take for their own individual scenarios. I'm a lazy person, flat out. Am I lazy in every aspect of life? No, of course not. Most people probably aren't, right? But does that laziness have the capacity to come out in ways that it might not normally sometimes? Yeah. Does it come out and prevent me from doing things that I really want to do? Even like get to an end goal, even if I enjoy the process, are there going to be moments where I'm like, not today? Yeah. And Obsidian hasn't helped too much with this, right? Just like all of the like calendar apps and task management apps, there's only so much they can do on their own. I have to put in the effort to really get the most value out of them, and I have to put in the repeated effort over and over to actually change these behaviors or habits that I have that I don't like, or that I feel are detrimental to whatever end goal I'm trying to get to. Um, so just keep that in mind. Nothing happens overnight. Overnight successes, guess what? Those take years to actually get to. So there's that. What can Obsidian do? Obsidian has currently 27 core plugins. I bet you even the most absurd Obsidian user would have never looked at some of these. Right? So let's get into it. We got the audio recorder. So you can embed images, media, videos, and anything into a note, basically. You can even do HTML blocks. You can put web page embeds and stuff in there, right? The audio recorder is a nice one if you have, if you're using Obsidian on a device that has a mic, like a phone, a tablet, laptop, most likely. If you have a mic hooked up to your desktop computer, super easy to just hit a button, talk, sing, play a little instrument, do whatever you gotta do, boom, it's there in your notes. It's gonna be embedded in whatever note you have open, and the actual raw audio file will be in your Obsidian folder. And then you can move it around, do whatever you want with it. I don't use it too much just because I'm not often in a place where I can, if I'm gonna leave me a quick note, I'm just gonna type it out because I'm gonna be at work or something, and I'm just not gonna be in a space where that will be something I can do. Again, different people get more mileage out of that than others, but incredibly handy, I think. We got the Backlinks plugin. I'm gonna talk about that in just a moment. Probably one of the most useful plugins in terms of happenstance, navigating around your vault. It's pretty interesting. Bookmarks. Oh, oh, my lovely bookmarks. It's amazing. It's my favorite thing. The only thing that I wish it did was I wish we could bookmark a workspace there, which I don't think we can. I was trying to see if we could, and I don't think we can. And workspaces, I'll talk about those later on. Canvas. That is the mind map, flowchart type of visualization tool. You can do cards, which are like blocks of texts and images that are not actual notes. They're like their own thing. They're not representative of a file on your hard drive. You can also put notes, either full notes or just specific blocks of notes on the canvas. You can also put media on itself, media by itself, as in like an image or a video or something. You can arrange it. You can do flowcharty arrows. You can do color coding. You can do groups. Super, super, super extensible, and it's generally fun to use as a way to just kind of put a bunch of stuff on your screen, move it around, and just look at certain things in a different light. Then we got the command palette. Probably it's like the best. It's the best. I'll get to that. So backlinks. What are backlinks? As you can see here, this is just from the Obsidian help. If you have two notes, if you intentionally link one note to another, that's a link. That note that links back to it is the backlink. Those come in two styles. There's mentioned, or linked and unlinked. The linked ones are the ones where you intentionally put the title of another note with links there, boom, goes back to it. That becomes a backlink to the one that you're linking to. The unlinked ones are when you just have the title of a note in another note that's not linked. So if you, depending on how you title your notes, that can be very, very useful information. By default, it just shows up in a panel that you can put on one of the side panes, but there is an option to toggle that will put the backlinks at the bottom of every note you're viewing. I don't do that. I understand why people would. I think there might be use cases where I would want to do that, but if any note, there's 3 little dots in the upper right corner. You click those, there's going to be a note level toggle of this as well. So if you just want it in certain notes, like maybe like your index notes for projects or whatever, you can do that and not have it in all the other ones. Boom. I think a lot of people probably don't know that you can toggle that on or off on a note level. Canvas options. Pretty straightforward. If you make a new Canvas file, where do you want it saved? Your root vault folder, your like attachments media folder that you can set in the global settings. You know, a few options there. You can always right click on a folder in your file explorer and go new canvas, and it'll put it in that folder. Default mouse wheel behavior, pan, zoom, I think those might be the only options. Default behavior for control, click and drag. Display card label. Each little thing on your canvas has a little title at the top that you can have always showing, never showing, only on hover. Snap to grid right here. Basically controls if you click on a group or on a card on your canvas and you move it around, how magnetic is it to the grid lines on the floor, you know, the background of the canvas. I would always probably have that on. Snap to objects controls the magnetism of moving a card or something to another card on your canvas and how you know, those line up. Zoom threshold for hiding card content. So if you've got a bunch of stuff up on your canvas and you zoom out to see more of it, at what point do you want Obsidian to stop rendering the actual notes? So it will replace the notes with just the name of it. It kind of gives you a simplified overview. So if you're zooming out and you've got a whole bunch of crap on your canvas, you know, this having some control over this will make it easier for you to actually see what's going on. So it's not just a bunch of really tiny text from your notes. Command palette. So the command palette has just a couple options. Basically you can just pin commands. So the command palette is Control P, boom, you get this, do I have an example? No. You get basically a little pop-up that lets you type in what you want to do. The command palette is the single greatest software invention of the last 85 years. So I think one of the main features of, or main like benefits of the command palette is it really cuts down on the amount of keyboard commands that you'll need to remember, because you just remember Control P and then you just start typing what you want to do. And so you can also pin commands to the top. When you install a community plugin, very frequently they will add their commands to that command palette, so you can pin functionality that's third-party based. Okay, next batch of plugins. We've only got a couple in these that have any options. So we got the daily notes, which I'll talk about in a second. File recovery, which is one of the ones I don't think anyone knows about. Files, which you might think it's weird that there's no settings for the files plugin. So it's just the file explorer pane on the sides that you can control. That's all it does. There's a lot of settings for the files, but they're in like a global settings thing. They're not tied to this plugin specifically, because if you turned off the plugin and then all those settings went away, like where you want to store your you know, notes by default and how you want them to connect the, like what type of links you want to use and all that, that would be weird. So this plugin is just that little pane, that little file tree pane. Format converter. It will convert Markdown from other stuff to Obsidian style Markdown. I've never used it. There's I don't have a lot of Markdown files from other stuff to use to use with Obsidian. I don't have any like specialized Markdown files, I should say. Before Obsidian, I did use like IA Writer, I really liked, And I've used some stuff that had Markdown, but nothing that was like not standard Markdown. Graph View. Graph View is incredibly useful. It's a global, well, caveat, a lot of caveats with this, guys. I think the Graph plugin is very useful if you put in the effort to control what it shows you. Which is easier than ever now with the Bookmarks plugin, where you can set up a graph, bookmark it, and then just click it to go right back to that. You couldn't do that before easily. So, very, very nice plugin. But there's going to be situations where, like, just the way that you're using Obsidian, it's just not going to be very useful to you. That's fine too. Okay, so daily notes. The concept of daily notes is daily journaling. Everyone, like, there's so many videos on daily notes and how people use it. I do 1 to 2 daily notes a week. Almost every Saturday I do it because I meet up with some buddies and we play some games and stuff. And then when I go through and I like to keep track of what we played and who won and stuff, just fun stuff. And then I will usually kind of go through what did I do this week, and I'll just put it in there. Some people do it every day. Some people set up weekly and monthly reviews where they where those notes will automatically pull stuff from the daily notes. You can set up templates so that stuff is automatically filled in. You can have it grab quotes from the internet. You can have it grab tasks and stuff from like other notes or from third-party task managing websites and stuff. So it's very flexible, but it's just it's super super personal. And for me, I've tried it out a lot. I like it. I wish I could use it more than I do, but I don't. But that's fine. File recovery. They also have a local file recovery option where it will keep alternate versions of your notes. So not very many options, right? How many minutes do you want to wait before it does another snapshot? How long do you want to keep those snapshots in there? In days. And you can clear history. You can wipe all your snapshots. And then if you click view, you can view and restore snapshots you have. So you get a little pane like this where you can type in something or just scroll through. See your notes that it has snapshots on. When you click on one, it'll give you different info over here, and you can restore it if you want. Neat little built-in thing. If you're going to be storing your Obsidian folder on like Dropbox or Google Drive or something more advanced than that even, you probably won't need it. But it's there. Okay, next batch. Note Composer. Very cool. Talk about that in a second. Outgoing links. Outgoing links are just a list of all the links in your note, in your current note, and what they're going to. The links that you will see as you go through and look at the actual thing, the actual note itself. You'll see all those links in there. But it is nice, especially if you're not someone that likes to do really tiny notes. If you like to do longer ones, like I do. So the outgoing links, it can be nice to just have a breakdown of just all the links right there. So you can just have that at hand if you know exactly what you're looking for already. Same with the outline. The outline's very simple plugin. It's a pane that you can put somewhere on one of the side panels, and it's just going to list headers for you. Headers and subheaders, and you can collapse them and click them to jump to that area in the note. I think there's community plugins that make it better, make it more usable. But it's there, it's good. Page preview. When you put your mouse over a note, over a link to anything, anywhere in the search results in your file explorer, in your backlinks, this can pop up a little mini preview that you can then move your mouse up to and scroll through, and even preview links in there. Inception style, basically. Obsidian Publish lets you publish notes to Obsidian's website, you get your own little subdomain. Note Composer. So Note Composer just has a couple options. Basically, Note Composer lets you split up a note into multiple notes. It lets you extract a section of a note into a new note or into a different file. You can set up templates if you really want to control how it looks without having to do much formatting after the fact. You can also have it give you a little prompt before it does anything that might destroy a file, just so you can confirm, yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Page preview options. This is just where do you want the page preview to pop up on. Very simple. If you're hovering over a bookmark in your bookmark panel, do you want there to be a little pop-up? If you're looking at a tag, do you want there to be a little pop-up? That's it. Boom, easy. Next batch. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there. We got the quick switcher. Random note gives you a little button. You click it, you get a random note. There you go. Search. So you can search for tags. You can search for headers. You can search for files by name, by path, all sorts of stuff. We also have the slash commands. Basically, while you're typing, if you're on a new line in a note, you hit the little slash button, and you'll get a drop down with some stuff that you can just add really easily and conveniently. And then slides, a lot of people don't realize this, but you can do a slideshow in Obsidian, which is pretty cool. I don't know how many people would use it, but it's pretty cool. The quick switcher, just a couple options. So Control O, get a little pop-up. You start typing in the name of the file you want to get to, and it filters out the results underneath, and you just go on your way. Here's an example of the slash commands. So if you're on a new line of a note, hit the slash lane, this will pop up, and it just gives you some quick options of stuff to add into that area of the note. It's almost like a localized version of the command palette, kind of. And Obsidian slides, this is an Obsidian slide. You were watching one. This is what they look like. They look like little parts. This is one note I made that is being presented as a slideshow. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, we're almost there. Alright, we got the starred plugin, which will be deprecated at some point, because the bookmark one just supersedes it in almost all respects. Obsidian Sync. Pretty good. Pretty good. Easiest way to sync your Obsidian vaults between devices, especially between mobile devices. Because Google Drive and the other syncing options, not always reliable on mobile, especially because a lot of them don't natively actually download stuff to your device. And you kind of sometimes have to use little workarounds to get that going. Tags. Oh, sync is especially helpful now. When it was first out, I don't think it did the plugins or plugin settings and stuff, but now you can have it sync everything, so it'll your vaults will just be mirrored across, which is fantastic. Tags. Yeah, tags are cool. No options there. You're either using them or you're not. And this is actually just the pane. I mean, you can still do tags and search for them, I assume, in the search thing, even if you don't have the actual tag pane. But basically, it's a little hashtag and then some text, and you can slash it and nest. Have longer tags. I'm old, so I know that they're called hashtags now, but I used to call them the number sign or the pound sign. Time marches on. What are you going to do? Templates. Templates are great. I think for the average person, the built-in template plugin is probably pretty solid. Of course, there are some incredibly popular and incredibly robust third-party templating plugins. So the unique note creator will, if turned on, it will put timestamps at the beginning of notes. I use similar functionality with Quick Add to put it at the end of certain notes. But yeah, if you're doing you know one of those Z words, then maybe this is something you need. Okay, Obsidian Sync. First part of the options. What do you want to sync? What types of files? You can exclude whole folders. You can exclude images, exclude audio, video, PDFs, or all other types. And this is all the other stuff. Do you want it to sync your main Obsidian settings? Do you want to sync your theme and your CSS snippets and all that? Do you want to sync your custom hotkeys, your active core plugins, your core plugin settings, your community plugin list, and all of that? Unique note creator options. Not many options. If you make a new note with this plugin, where do you want it stored? Do you want us to use a template for that note? And how do you want us to exactly format the timestamp? Simple. Okay, the last plugins. We don't even got any options here. We got no settings to go through. This is just it. We're done. Oh, wait. Not yet. So word count. Let me tell you about them, then we'll be done. Word count, simple. It puts a little tiny word count in the status area that tells you how many words are in the note you're looking at. And then workspaces. Workspaces is a hefty topic. You know, you've got the two side panels that each have tabs, and you can put multiple, you know, rows of tabbed sections in each panel, right? You can have one main note section, or you can have that split up into two. You can have it split up into a bazillion. There's so many ways to set up your layout of panel and window space. And Workspaces lets you save those and reactivate them very, very easily. All of this is inside of Obsidian's. It's in the box. It's just right there. That's a lot of stuff. I just went through a lot of stuff. I don't know if you realize that. And it's all free. I mean, except for sync and publish. Those you gotta pay for. But everything else, it's all free. And it's all just in the box. I didn't go over a single community plugin. It's a lot. It's overwhelming. Go through the core plugins. Turn off what you don't think you'll use. Start using it. And just turn them back on when you feel like, okay, maybe this is something. I've thought of something. Maybe I could use this, right? Let me turn on the Workspaces plugin, because now that I've kind of been moving the windows around, maybe I want to explore that a little bit. Just go slowly through it, and you'll get there, wherever that is. All right. Thank you for coming to the presentation. I hope that you found something useful from it. I hope that I don't know. I got nothing. Thank you.